And I think from the email I had from the Ledbury Action Group, I think the residents want to talk about the ARROT report and how that got to them. But just from my own sort of clarity on this point around, so my recollection was, we agreed to publish the report as soon as we got it, and therefore, it's always going to be possible that, once you put something online, people are going to interpret it and so on. So, we'll hear from the residents, but I think I'm satisfied that publishing as early as possible is better than not. Mm-hmm. But I'll be very interested to hear the views from over there as we go on. So, any other questions from the panel? Radha?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if, I'm sure there's been quite a steep learning curve actually with everything that's happened on the Ledbury. And I suppose a broader question, will there be any bigger piece of work done in terms of assisting social housing tenants in understanding their rights and specifically in regard to repairs and disrepairs? And making sure that you actually have a more informed sort of tenant population, so that perhaps that some of these issues can be addressed rather sooner than they were. Mm-hmm.
This is certainly on the fire safety piece, where the issue of residents' awareness of fire safety issues has been raised. We set up a resident scrutiny committee, and that was specifically to talk about residents' perspectives with regard to the sorts of things you're talking about. That has now met for its final time and produced its report. We're now looking at that alongside the professional assessment of our policies and procedures with regard to fire safety, and there'll be an action plan produced from that. The thing that comes out very clearly from the resident scrutiny bit is the appetite for more communication. There are suggestions there. We already provide training for people who are involved in TRAs on fire safety awareness, but rolling out more of that sort of stuff. So we will be, at the moment we're going through that exercise of looking at their recommendations and producing an action plan to deal with that. That does also look at things like repairs issues and so on, so there will be more communication.
And there is an independent audit being currently underway now to look into this.
Okay, Martin?
Thank you. Again, I want to thank you for what was a very detailed response early on. Thank you for that. I'm not sure you mentioned leaseholders. Mm-hmm. Just bring us up to date. What is the position of leaseholders? Are they tending to want to buy back, or what is the position with them?
The position is unfolding, and of course each household is making a decision on its own basis. So the leasehold, although we've had meetings with leaseholders, we've had meetings with residents and separate meetings with each. I think each household is now looking at its own circumstances in its own context. So there is a process by which now we are communicating with the leaseholders, and they are talking to us about what their needs are, and we know that a certain number of people have expressed an interest in one thing and some in another. So although collectively we're talking with leaseholders, I think it's also one-to-one basis.
Yeah, so there are officers there available to talk about those individual options, in addition to the wider stuff. This also appears on the website now, but there's a set of frequently asked questions for tenants and a set of frequently asked questions for leaseholders as well, that cover the most common things that people want to know.
Understood. And thank you for that initial answer, but of course our experience elsewhere, if we don't consider leaseholders and their needs, it's usually there's an overhang.
They're very much,
yes.
They're very much at the forefront. And when I've spoken tonight about how we're working with residents, I mean both tenants and leaseholders.
I'm just trying to pin you down on the numbers in terms of compensation, lease, the buyback offers and so on. To what degree have you progressed the leaseholders' options, and are there problems which are yet to be resolved in relation to leaseholders, either the buyback options or compensation? I just want to understand. I'm not quite understanding where we are. I can see the report back in September, October time, but we're now in December, and I would have expected a progress report at this point.
Okay.
Is there any figures you can give us?
No, there aren't,
okay,
because
right.
as I say, this is working with leaseholders is an unfolding solution.
Understood.
And we've communicated with, spoken with, had meetings with each household.
Right.
Some of the non-resident leaseholders